Memorial Day, of course, the first big outdoor holiday of the year, and that means stocking up on sunscreen. But which one offers the best protection against skin cancer? There are so many unproven claims out there that back in 2007, the Food and Drug Administration wanted new regulations for sunscreen labeling. But as ABC's John McKenzie reports, the agency still hasn't taken any action.
Sunscreens. What a mess. No, not the lotion on the body. The labeling on the bottle.
It is more than a mess. It's deceiving, it's fraudulent, and it's leaving people to operate under the false impression their children are protected and they're protected against skin cancers. They're not.
Not if they're relying on claims such as waterproof or sweatproof or broad spectrum.
These claims are basically meaningless, and there are no set standards.
The Food and Drug Administration promised to give consumers clear guidance with new labeling standards.
The government today proposed new rules concerning sunscreen
that was almost 2 years ago, and nothing has changed. Before actually enacting the new regulations, the FDA is still reviewing them, still reviewing comments from the public and the makers of sunscreens.
When you have 3,000 comments, agree that not all of them included substantial data, but it does require some time to look through these and consider them carefully.
With new regulations, you would not see new sunscreens with a sun protection factor of 85 or 100. The cap would be listed simply as 50 plus, which is all most people really need. There was also supposed to be a simple 4-star rating system to measure protection against the deeper penetrating UVA rays. But that too is on hold. ABC News has learned that the FDA, under pressure from sunscreen makers and others, is making substantial changes to the proposed regulations, and now plans to unveil a new set of labeling rules later this year. In the meantime, millions of unsuspecting sunscreen users may get burned, waiting. For Good Morning America, John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
So here with advice on how not to get burned is dermatologist Dr. Doris Day. Good morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning.
So start by the UVA rays, which he just mentioned, are the more dangerous type, right?
Well, they're both dangerous.
Okay.
But in the past, we thought only UVB was important.
Right.
And B was for burning, A we always said was for aging. Now we know UVA also is responsible for skin cancers, and UVA goes through glass.
Oh,
so
right.
even if you're just in your car, you're getting UVA rays. And they're all year round.
So how do you know if your sunscreen, you look at the label, how do you know if you're getting UVA and UVB protection? Can you know that with the current labeling?
Well, the good thing is that there are a few simple things you can look for. Look for broad spectrum.
Okay.
Look for UVA and UVB protection. They should both be written. The SPF only applies to UVB. So if it only has SPF and you don't see UVA or broad spectrum written anywhere, then there's probably no UVA.
You're not getting the full protection.
Exactly. And also look for photo stabilized. And that implies that it's broader spectrum and longer lasting, but you still have to reapply it every few hours in order to have adequate protection.
I don't even know what photo stabilized means, but I'm going to remember that I need to look for that word on the label. Talk to me about SPF, though, because this is so confusing to a mom, to people trying to figure out 15 versus 50. We just heard John say that the new label is going to say 50 plus because it doesn't even almost matter after you get beyond 50.
That's right. Once you get above 50, it's such a small percentage difference that the FDA is saying is that you can't even test it to have an accurate number.
So what number do you think we should look for?
In the wintertime, SPF 15. In the summer, SPF 30 or higher. But even more important than the SPF is to apply enough product and to reapply it often enough so that you get adequate coverage. If you're using a 30, you're lucky if you're getting a 10, an SPF 10 out of it. So don't think of a 30 as truly a 30, because no one puts on enough.
Go for 30 or higher in the summer, in these months. And waterproof? Can we trust that it's really waterproof?
No, and the new rulings will take away the word waterproof. It'll be water resistant. So there really is no waterproof.
Okay. And quickly, all those fancy ingredients that they list, like Helioplex and all these names that I see, do those matter?
Those imply photo-stabilized. You can also look for the Skin Cancer Foundation seal of recommendation. They've kind of done your homework for you. So if you have that seal of recommendation, that's an easy way to go by.
That's good advice.
But all those Mexeril, Helioplex, Avotriplex, those are photo-stabilized.
Photo stabilized. That's the name I'm going to take away from this. Dr. Doris Day, thanks. And you can find more about all these tips at abcnews.com.